Electrofusion jointing, sockets and integrated fittings. Preparation. Welding should be carried out in a dry place at an ambient temperature between -5 and +40 degrees centigrade. Do not perform operations in case of bad weather, rain, snow, wind. Otherwise, use appropriate protection systems. Do not use open flames. Preliminary checks. Prepare and check all necessary welding equipment. Electrofusion welding machine, electrofusion fitting, aligning clamp, mechanical scraper and/or hand scraper, pipe cutter, liquid detergent, paper towel, permanent marker, measuring tape. Make sure that pipes are free from any cuts and abrasions. In case of cuts or abrasions, make sure that their depth is less or equal to 10% of the thickness of the pipe. For example, if a pipe with a 10 mm thickness has a 2 mm deep cut, this would be greater than 10% of the thickness of the pipe and it would be therefore not acceptable. Whereas if the same pipe has a 0.9 mm deep cut, this would be less than 10% of the thickness of the pipe and it would be therefore acceptable. Make sure that the ends to be welded are cut at right angle. Verify the ovality of the ends to be welded. The ovality, calculated as follows, must not exceed 1.5%. For example, if a pipe with a normal diameter of 110 mm has a maximum diameter of 112 mm and a minimum diameter of 108 mm, the ovality is greater than 1.5% and it is therefore not acceptable. Whereas if the same pipe has a maximum diameter of 111 mm and a minimum diameter of 110 mm, the ovality is less than 1.5% and is therefore acceptable. Scraping. Clean the ends to be welded with a suitable liquid detergent. Do not use acetone or denatured alcohol. Mark the scraping area. The length of the pipe subjected to scraping must exceed the insertion depth of the fitting by at least 10 mm. Scrape the defined ends. Do not use sandpaper, files, emery grinding wheels, or serrated knives. Use exclusively the dedicated hand or mechanical scrapers. For example, use a hand scraper for pipes with a diameter not exceeding 63 mm. The scraping depth shall be about 0.1 mm. The procedure is correct when a consistent shaving is formed and remains attached to the pipe end. This shall then be removed by slightly rounding off the pipe edge at 45-degree angle. For pipes with a diameter exceeding 63 mm, we suggest to use a mechanical scraper. The scraping depth shall be about 0.2 mm. Once the scraping is completed, round off the pipe edge at a 45-degree angle by using a hand scraper. Cleaning. Clean the scraped ends with a suitable liquid detergent. Do not use acetone or denatured alcohol. Also, clean the internal surface of the fitting with liquid detergent. Do not touch the freshly cleaned surfaces with your hands. If you do so, repeat the cleaning operations. Positioning. Mark the insertion depth. Mark the insertion depth for at least 1/3 of the circumference of the pipes. In addition to facilitating the positioning of the fitting onto the pipe, This reference will allow to make sure that the joint has not moved once welding is completed. Insert the fitting onto the ends to be welded. Fasten the joint into the aligning clamp. Welding. Power on the Euro SP1 Plus polyvalent welding machine. Connect the welding machine plugs to the fitting. Enable the automatic mode. Use the welding machine scanner to read the data on the barcode of the fitting, making sure that the data on the label correspond to the data shown on the welding machine display. Confirm that scraping and cleaning have been successfully carried out. Confirm the correct positioning of the elements to be welded. Start the welding cycle. After the internal resistance of the fitting has been automatically checked, the welding cycle begins. The duration of the welding cycle may vary depending on the ambient temperature. For example, for a fitting with a 110 mm diameter, at an ambient temperature of 10 degrees centigrade, the welding time will exceed the nominal time. Whereas for the same fitting with a 110 mm diameter, at an ambient temperature of 30 degrees centigrade, the welding time will be lower than the nominal time. At the end of the cycle, verify the coming out of the fusion indicators from the built-in place on the fitting. Cooling and final checks. At the end of the welding cycle, disconnect the fitting from the welding machine. Allow for the cooling time indicated by the fitting manufacturer to elapse, and by using a marker, write on the fitting at what time the alignment clamp may be removed. Cooling must occur naturally. Do not use external cooling agents such as water or compressed air. Remove the joint from the aligning clamp. Check alignment. Make sure that scraping has been performed. Check correct insertion depth. Check coming out of the fusion indicators. Make sure that there are no leaks of molten material. Typical mistakes. Pipe misalignment. Pipe misalignment and wrong setting of welding parameters. Non-compliant cut of the pipe. Non-compliant cut of the pipe and incomplete insertion. Irregular scraping. Lack of scraping. Wrong setting of welding parameters.